So day 11, we're going to be talking about beginner golf sets, beginner golf clubs, where to start, where to look, all that sort of stuff. I know it's very daunting, and I know you're going to get thrown a bunch of information when you first start out. When you first start out, you're going to be looking at everything on Marketplace, and trust me, I've been there. You're going to be looking at all the Titleist gear, you're going to be looking at all the TaylorMade gear, all the stuff that looks fancy and shiny. I can tell you right now, a lot of it's not going to be suited to you. So what the best thing to do with that sort of stuff is to make sure that you are looking for what's suited to you. Now, to find out what's suited for you, you need to go work out, go see the guys at like Golf Clearance or anything like that and work out what they're going to do as far as your swing speed goes, because there's nothing else worse than when you're trying to work those things out and you're getting the wrong information thrown at you. No one's going to help you if you're going to do it that way. Sometimes when you first start out, you might think, well, I've read all the information online that tells me that I need an extra stiff or I need a stiff. Go and see someone, go and see the guys at Golf Clearance, get into their simulator and have a swing. They're gonna guide you in the right direction. Don't fly blind. Like, you wouldn't go buy a car just because of what you've seen on reviews or anything like that, right? Like, you're gonna go road test it. You're gonna go, check out its features, see it firsthand. And it's the same with golf. Like, don't just go buy anything just for the sake of it. You wanna go in there, make sure what you're buying suits you, especially if you're gonna spend decent money. Like, don't just buy what the internet tells you to buy. So set yourself a budget and just have a look online, see what you can find that suits your budget. Now, because you're starting out, it's not that important to make sure that everything's dialed in. You're gonna read a lot of stuff about people like, oh yeah, this club was fitted to me and this suits my swing speed and that's why I hit it further. Look, it's bullshit, okay? A lot of it, yes, some of it will make a difference, but when you're just starting out, you're not gonna notice the difference. So when you're just starting out, get something that you feel comfortable with. Get the club that when you look at it, you're like, yeah, I feel like I can get this in the air. There's a lot of cheap clubs out there that you'll be able to use to get you up and going. So I guess if I had, let's just say I had $1,000 to spend on equipment. If I had to spend money, I would go down to somewhere like Golf Clearance Outlet, go and see the guys down there and find yourself a nice set of game improvement irons. Now, the Sim 2s are a real good place to start, TaylorMade. They're known as game improvement irons. They're going to give you some forgiveness on off-center strikes. It's probably where you want to start. So I would definitely look at going down that route. Just going to turn around. Wow, this place is nice. Also too, when you're starting out, don't go and buy like the most expensive driver you can find. Like, there's no awards for having the nicest driver in your bag or having like a brand name driver. I've played with guys at my local golf club who have drivers that are really old and they still drive it further than me. They play better than me and they hit it straighter than me. So it just goes to show that sometimes, the brand names are good, but there's no need to just have brand names in your bag. When you start out, don't just go and I'm gonna get all TaylorMade in my bag, or I'm gonna get all Titleist in my bag. My bag's gonna be Titleist, my clothes are gonna be Titleist. Look, it's cool to look cool, but you're gonna end up being that bloke that's all the gear and no idea, and you don't want to be that person. I think the best thing to do is go and get a set of stuff that you can afford. Get yourself some wedges, get yourself driver, woods, all the rest of it, an affordable putter, and then just learn the game that way. So as far as the makeup of your bag goes, what I would do is start with driver. Now with your driver, if you're not a very athletic person, start with look for something like Regular Flex. If you're athletic, you've played sports previously before or anything like that, find yourself a stiff flex driver or an X stiff, depending how strong you are. If you go to the gym, look, X stiff will probably work. A lot of people will tell you, don't gauge it off how strong you are or anything like that. Swing speed is what you gauge it off, but you don't need to listen to those people. Get something that's comfortable and get to learn the game. I think for your first beginner set, just get a whole set of clubs so that you have everything covered. So I would go with, make sure you have a driver, a 3-wood, you can get yourself a 5-wood, anything like that. I would probably also go and look for a set that starts at maybe 4-iron or 5-iron, all the way up to pitching wedge. From there, you want to have what's called a gap wedge, which is normally like a 50-degree or a 52-degree wedge. You want to have yourself a sand wedge, which is normally a 54 or 56. And then you want a sand wedge, which could be a 58 or a 60. Now, me personally, I use a sand wedge for emergency purposes only, so I only ever use mine if I absolutely need to. It's a very hard club to tame. There's no rules to say that you have to do it a certain way. You can have whatever you want in your bag and it's not going to matter. All right, I hope that gives you some sort of insight. Tomorrow we'll talk about a few other things too that will help some beginner golfers. I'm gonna target a lot of this stuff now for the next coming days to help my beginner golf friends and beginner golf followers. So tune in tomorrow for day 12. Have a great day. I'm gonna go enjoy this sunshine and enjoy this beautiful weather out here, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out.